will say and get better. And I've always carried that with me, and I did it. You know, the things that they suggested that I do, I did it. And that's why I've been sober ever since. And, you know, there's a lot of skepticism about rehab or substance abuse treatment. And the reality is, you know, if a person goes to a good place and gets decent treatment, if they just do what is suggested to them, there's a pretty high probability they're going to remain abstinent. You're going to get better. There really is hope.
When somebody's out of denial.
Yeah, but it is hard. It's, you know, nobody ever wants to go through this stuff. And that's something I try to really acknowledge and validate with the clients that I work with, that, you know, this kind of sucks. You know, nobody ever wants to go through this stuff. But, you know, if you can come out of denial and embrace what's happening to you, and then you can begin to see the opportunity of the good that can come from it, and which, thank God, I've been able to do, you know?
Absolutely. Sometimes we all need a wake-up call in some form or another. And sometimes it is the power of suggestion that people will change once they're aware.
Yeah. Well, another gift that I got through that whole scenario, one of the benefits of having a sister who was in recovery is she'd been doing it for about a year and living it, and was with people in recovery. And the picture that she painted for me was, you know, it can be pretty great, Tom. You can be a lot happier than you are. You think it's going to be terrible, and it's really, really not. And so it opened my mind a little bit. And then one of the best things that happened to me when I got to the treatment facility where I went was I began to see these men who had been sober for a long time who were really cool. You know, they were happy, they were funny, they were people who I could identify with and see myself associating with. And that was really important for me to see that. They were people who I could relate to, who were living sober, and they were happy.
But it sounds like you didn't have that before.
I really didn't. I didn't. You know, I had one aunt and uncle come to mind who, you know, they were kind of the branch of our family tree where they didn't really drink that much. And all the rest of us kind of looked at them like they were a little on the square side. And, you know, they weren't any fun. And so I'll tell you what, you know, guess which aunt was writing me letters when I was in treatment?
The square side one.
Guess who came to visit me in Florida when I was in very early recovery? They're the ones who showed up for me. They knew something the rest of us didn't. That's the truth.
What do you think they knew?
Well, you know, drinking all the time isn't really as cool as we think it is when we're doing it. It's really kind of sad, because what I know now is I was avoiding my life. I wasn't living my life. I was trying to escape from the distress of my life. I wasn't living. I was just barely surviving. They knew that.
Yeah. And some people want to enjoy life, right? And not escape. And it's much better when we actually appreciate what we have, and rather than avoid it. I want to welcome callers to call in 866-826-1340, 866-826-1340 if you have any stories or feedback that you want to contribute or join the discussion. 866-826-1340. I appreciate your transparency, Tom, and what you're saying, because a lot of times things spiral out of control and people don't know exactly where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So when you went into the program, what did they work with you, and what do you think that kind of treatment modality is appropriate? or works best for you? I know there's a lot.
It was a Hazelden facility, which is, Hazelden is kind of the granddaddy of all treatment facilities. It's a multidisciplinary approach. They definitely make a conscious effort to treat the whole person and every aspect of the person. It is a 12-step philosophy they are definitely grounded in, which helped me a lot. The 12 steps saved my life. I try not to be I'm not a person who's so narrow-minded as to think that the 12 steps is the only thing that works. There are other ways that I believe, those in my world of addiction treatment are familiar with the guy named Father Joseph Martin, who did a lot of writing and a lot of work around early recovery. And one of the things Father Martin said is AA is what works best for most people. And I believe that's the truth. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous is probably what works best for most people. It certainly is not going to hurt someone to go through the 12 steps. It's a set of spiritual principles that begins most importantly with honesty, not only with other people, but especially with yourself. So, I don't know that I really experienced happiness in life until I went through the 12 steps. It was, I grew up in a relatively religious household. I always knew about the Ten Commandments and all that, which, they're great. But what I loved about the steps and the principles behind the steps, they weren't about don't do this. They were about this is what you do. This is how you live, rather than how you shouldn't live. And that, constructive sort of input was really helpful to me. It was a framework within which to live, which I really didn't have before. I remember taking philosophy classes in college and reading all these books and thinking, how does this really come to life? Like, I don't, I believe all this stuff, but I don't really know how to do it. Well, the 12 steps for me was an answer for that. It was a way to live. And it still is, for me, a way to live. It's a set of principles that I do my best to adhere to, which basically boil down to being good to yourself and being good to other people and living the kind of life that you can be proud of. For me, it's about living the kind of life that I can be proud of, so I don't feel the need to change the way I feel anymore. I don't feel the need to escape anything anymore. I can enjoy life without indulging in that way.
It's amazing that you said that, and a lot of people are turned off by the 12 step because of the religious aspect, and there's other programs that help for people that are concerned with that, but we're going to take a break really quick. So Tom, just hang on, and we will be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
SWAT Roofing would like to share some crucial information that is misunderstood by 60 to 70% of homeowners. Did you know that a damaged roof by hail or wind, in many incidents, can actually lower your premium instead of raising it when filing an insurance claim? After your new roof goes on, many premium-rated companies will want your policy to be with them and will offer the new incentives to get it. SWAT is a debt-free company with over 18 years in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We believe in helping you fully understand the interpretation of your policy and the way it can work in your favor. Call today or go online at www.swatcontracting.com, or for a free roof inspection, call 214-449-9983.
BuildingBeyond.me is a community. We try to help animals, including the humans. We fundraise to buy oxygen pumps for babies, water and food for families, from dog food and veterinary surgery, from shoes to food to milk and diapers. BuildingBeyond.me.
Did you know that your physical health plays a big role in your mental health? Healthy minds and healthy bodies go hand in hand. The problem for many is finding the time and getting the results they want. X-Force Body is perfect for people with busy schedules, with a mission to inspire you to become leaner, stronger, and in the process healthier. X-Force Body coaches will encourage, motivate, and inspire you through every workout, helping you achieve the results you desire. Learn more about X-Force Body. For more information, visit www.xforcebody.com.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOC with Tiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Warner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Warner.
Hey, welcome back. This is Moments of Clarity. I'm Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're talking about substance abuse, recovery, addiction, and ways to cope with addiction, and for everyone suffering in silence, and for people that are suffering with family members, watching them suffer. It's really good to talk about this and to be aware. And we're welcoming callers to call in 866-826-1340 and join our discussion. And welcome back to my guest, Tom Gentry.
Thank you.
So with the 12 steps, we're talking about recovery and how it's not easy helping people in recovery. And it's a lot of turnover. It's a lot of, I think when I was working in a substance abuse facility, they kept calling them frequent flyers in a sad way, but it's like kind of a revolving door for some people. But what I witnessed is that eventually they got it right. And it's never a failure if a relapse happens. To keep trying. But so,
well, and I was talking to another therapist yesterday, who is really interested in this aspect of things, because, you know, as professionals in the substance abuse treatment industry, we tell people it's a chronic illness. I believe it's a chronic illness, but the nomenclature that we use, like relapse, I mean, we talk about it, we treat it as if it's an acute illness, when in reality, a chronic illness is something that has to be continuously treated. And and I think what's problematic about that is the idea of relapse is one that has a lot of shame attached to it. It's definitely, speaking of stigma, I mean, the idea of a relapse is definitely stigmatized. Not to say that it's good or anything like that, but it can often be a reality, and not everyone is able to get it the first time around. It's just not the way it is. I mean, I didn't. I went through one treatment experience before all of this happened. You know, that's part of what I left out in the story, is that I had already gone to an intensive outpatient program and only made it about 60 days. But I needed that experience and that quote-unquote failure, if you want to call it that. I needed to go through that to be able to know what I needed to do differently the next time. And I feel extraordinarily grateful because I have been able to maintain abstinence all this time. And I think if truth be told, I really believe that